Hey guys, what's going on, and welcome back to another weekly Fordcast. So I've got some great stuff for you today. I've gone all out on my analysis. I am now providing not just one point of view, but a full in-depth review on every time frame, bullish and bearish. And yeah, so a lot more content. Is going to be a longer than usual weekly Fordcast. My weekly reviews will be the same. I'm pretty much just upping the game of everything that I'm doing, taking it to the next level. So I'm going to include time frames at the beginning. So I don't know where I'm going to put them, but I'll put them somewhere. So if you're looking for the bearish analysis for the Aussie dollar, then I'll put the time up here. If you're looking for the bullish analysis for the Aussie dollar, here, and I will probably list the time frames below. So if you want to look at just a specific time frame, then skip to it, go do whatever you want. But hey, if you want to watch the entire analysis, then sit back and chill, because I'm gonna bring it to you. So let's get straight into it. The bearish analysis for the Aussie dollar. So I'm starting off with the monthly here. So, and as we can see, price is in a channel right now. So I did have the channel, like this trend line here, the descending trend line, I did have it a little bit pushed down so that it crossed through this area here, and it did look like price broke a trend line and was coming down for a retest before bouncing up. Now the thing is, the moving averages are crossed to the downside, so if you don't know how I do my analysis, I'm going to make a separate video on what moving averages I use, and you know how I analyze the charts, pretty much like what tools I use and what they mean. But pretty much when the green is below the red, for me that means a downtrend. And to further support that, if price is below both the moving averages, then that's extra confirmation. That's what I like. But at the moment we can see that price is above both moving averages, but the green is crossed below the red. So when I did have my trend line drawn out, so it looked like it was a break and a retest, things just didn't look too well, because with my, so far with my analysis, when price is in a channel, the lines are pretty much parallel or very close to parallel, and when I had it drawn the way I did earlier, it wasn't very parallel. Now I don't know if that's something something you should look for. That's just how I do my analysis. I like my channels to be parallel. So I was thinking that price was going to retest and make its way up, but price is pretty bearish at the moment. As you can see, even from 2013, price is on its way down. Now it made more sense that price was touching the top of the channel before continuing to the downside. So yeah, overall I think that price is bearish on the Aussie dollar, but there is potential for price to move to the upside, which you will see later. So coming down to the weekly, as you can see here, price has broken above what was a resistance and is now trading it as a support. And with the moving averages crossed to the upside, we can see that, yeah, price was retracing, making its way up before heading back down. So there's a few things that could happen here. If we're looking for downside, so bearish movement, you can see from the top of this push here, after the entire impulse, price started retracing. Now it made a big push to the downside over the past couple weeks, and it came down to a nice support here, which was tested once, twice, about 2-3 times, and well, before that it did retrace into a Fibonacci level. So the push here to there, that was the impulse move. Now price is retracing up, and as you can see, it was in the golden zone before pushing down. But so far we haven't seen price being able to continue further. So this purple horizontal line here represents the 7,000 level, which is a key support at the moment. So unless price pushes and breaks or closes below that level, then I reckon price is going to range or consolidate around there for now. So yeah, I saw price push down, retrace into a Fibonacci zone, and make its way down. Now we're looking for price to break this level and close. So heading down into the daily, we can see that price has been ranging from here to here is about 250 pips. I wouldn't exactly call it like a range, but I mean it's a big range. It's going through multiple levels. So I've drawn out my levels here, and what we can see price doing is, again, there was downside movement, and this was confirmed by the moving averages crossing over. Price did break a trend line over the past week. I think this is during the week. So it just melted down, and now it's retracing. It's creating lower highs and not really creating lower lows, but as you can see, price does not want to break through the 7,000 level. It's stuck. It doesn't want to break through. So it is a strong support. So in regards to bearish scenarios here, we can see the moving averages across to the downside, and price recently over, you know, the past 10 days or so has been treating it as a moving resistance. Doesn't want to break through. It tested the 50 moving average a couple times, 4 times, before melting to the downside, and now price is just indecisive around in this little zone here, which we will see in the next photo or snapshot. So yeah, you can see here price is ranging in between this resistance and this support being the major level of 7,000. So first of all, if you watched my previous video on the weekly review, you would have seen that price created a double top twice. So it created a double top at this level, melted down, broke through that support, and now is treating that that support as a resistance. Now it did form another double top at this resistance, and price created a engulfing candle, a bearish engulfing candle to the downside, sort of treating the moving average again as a moving support. Oh, sorry, resistance. Don't know how many times I'm gonna get that wrong, but yeah. So that's what it's doing. MA's crossed to the downside. It retested tested the resistance and the horizontal resistance. So that's pretty strong. Got tested, yeah, 2-3 times. Melted down, and now price is creating a small uptrend, a small channel here. So yeah, I'm looking for price to break that if I want price to, well, pretty much if price wants to break the 7,000 level, it's going to have to break this small ascending trend line here. But yeah, price is stuck here. Now this is an important area, as I did say in my weekly review, because, you know, if price breaks to the upside here, then we can expect a retest and continuation to the top of the trend line. But if it breaks to the downside, then the price is most likely going to melt. Now this was the minor ascending channel which I'm talking about. So if we want to get into the small details here, this is on, yeah, the 1 hour. You can see that price after melting did create the moving averages to cross over to the downside. So that's one confluence. Now, if we want price to melt through, what I'm looking for is for price to, as I said earlier, break this minor ascending trend line. I want it to break, and it's most likely coming down to touch the 7,000. Now, if it does, that's probably gonna, price might consolidate around the area before falling through, or price could retrace back up to the trend line or up into the Fibonacci zone, which I have drawn out here. Now, I drew that out pretty much by treating the movement from the top here, which, as you can see, touch both moving averages. From that down to the 7,000, I'm imagining that to be the impulse, and retracing up before dropping back down. So to do that, price, you know, will create a lower low here, as you can see, breaking 1, 2, 3 lows, and then coming back up either into the trend line or the Fibonacci zone, or it might not even retrace and it might just completely melt, creating lower highs. And if I see that lower high being created and price pushing back down to the downside, then that's, you know, strong confirmation that price gonna melt. Now to the smaller details. We're on the 15-minute here. We can see that the last impulse move that price has been making, as you can see, lower lows, lower highs are being created, but from the last high, price made an impulse move to the bottom of this trend line here. This is still the minor ascending trend line. Price made that impulsive move, retraced up right into the moving averages, which are still crossed to the downside, and it's in the golden zone. And I don't even want to count how many times it rejected the 0.618 level, by like 1, 2, 3, multiple times pretty much, with a strong candle here rejecting the 618, the moving averages also, And yeah, so pretty much price doesn't want to break across it. It's heavily respecting this Fibonacci zone. So that's why I'm thinking that price could continue to the downside, break through. Pretty much what I'm seeing for bearish analysis is there's a lot of stuff showing me that price doesn't want to go up. So that's pretty much my bearish analysis. So now let's go back up to my bullish analysis and not why I think price could be bullish, but what I think price would do if it was to make some bullish moves. So first of all, we're going back up to the month. So price is crossed to the downside, the moving average is still, but price could cross, because as you can see here, there was a huge move up to the top, and it made its way to the top of the channel, and that's what's bringing the moving averages closer, potential cross. So from here, price could either, just melt completely, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about the bullish. So from here, price could either retrace down to one of the two supports here. So if it retraces to this support, well, this is what could happen. A push, a break, and making its way up to the next level here. So I use the purple line to signify my major levels on the higher time frame, so the weekly and the monthly. So if price retraces to this support, it's most likely going to break through if it does and push up to this level. And it's probably going to push up to the same level if it does break the trend line, but, tracing down to this support instead. So if I'm looking for bullish positions, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for price to retrace to one of those two levels and break the channel. And most likely, according to the backtesting that I've been doing, price will make a retracement one way or another, either to a Fibonacci zone or break and retrace into the trend line, which will be now acting as a support. So now heading down to the weekly, we can see from the last impulsive move, which was made in between, like it was a mid-level between this resistance and support. It is retracing down into a Fibonacci level, which is very close to lining up with the now support. It was a resistance, now it's a support. So yeah, it's rejecting the 0.618, which is the bottom border of the golden zone. And the moving averages are across to the upside. But also it is rejecting the horizontal level. So that's a pretty strong indication to me that if price decides to hold and not break below this, it could make its way up. And that's why I'm thinking, hey, there's a potential for this. So that's what I'm looking for. I'd look for, first of all, price to hold above this horizontal level and make a break and a close above this minor resistance, and for more confirmation, break through this high. So I want to see price making a higher high and higher lows. Now we're moving over to the daily. So this is where price is making most of its rejections. So yeah, this is the level that I was talking about here. Price obviously doesn't want to break it. It's tested it once and it's tested it twice. Came close to testing it back here. But yeah, so moving averages are not in my favor at the moment on the daily. So before I do anything, what I really want to see is the moving averages to cross to the upside, always. And I want price to, like I said, make that higher high. So this high up here is this one here. I want price to break through these resistances, all three of them, and that will probably make price, the moving averages, cross to the upside. It'll touch here, probably create a double top. Now if price makes a lower high, or a higher low, it's going to retrace into this Fibonacci zone, where the 0.5 lines up with this support. If price was up here, it would be a support, and the 0.618 lining up with this one, with this support. Now, once price does push up, and if it does make its way up here, the moving averages are going to be, as you know, they do act as a moving support resistance. They're going to line up with one of these two. Now, depending on which one it lines up to, that's going to give me a clearer indication of where I'm looking for price to test and bounce up. So yeah, ultimately on the daily, I'll be looking for price to come up to this level and retrace into somewhere here. Now moving down to the 2 hour, which is my favorite. If I'm looking for bullish positions, then this is what I'm looking for. Pretty much same thing, but as you can see here, there is a slight down channel or downwards trend line, which I don't think I didn't draw it up on here, but here's the channel. Ultimately, I want price to break this channel, and it's going to break and retest. Well, it won't, but it might. But if it does, that's what's going to tell me, hey, keep your eye out for bullish positions. I want price to break through this trend line and retrace into either the trend line, Fibonacci zone, but most likely, if it is a Fibonacci zone, price will need to push up pretty high and make a strong retracement for it to be a Fibonacci zone. But I will keep my mind open to that too. You always need to be aware of what else could happen. So I want price to break this trend line and retest either a horizontal level, the moving averages, Fibonacci, or the trend line. I think I didn't mention that. So yeah, on the daily, that's what I'm looking for. A clear break of this line and a retracement into whatever I just listed before making its way up to the upside. And now we're skipping the 2 hours because it's pretty much the same. I'm looking for price to break the trend line. But going into the smaller time frames, price, if it is going to make its way up to the trend line, we want to see a break first of all of the other minor levels. So I want price to break here. So this resistance, I can't tell you exactly how it's going to break, but it's probably going to make its way up, consolidate a little bit, then break through, retrace, and continue to the upside. But yeah, those are just the smaller details. If I was just to wrap it up, keep it nice and simple, I'll be patient. I'll set an alert somewhere here just to let me know, hey, price has broken the trend line. I'll be like, awesome, now let's wait for the retracement, probably enter a buy and run it up for when price moves up, and that will take us to the next level, which is here. So that will create the higher highs and hopefully the higher lows. And yeah, that's pretty much my assessment on price, being a bit, making bullish movements. So yeah, pretty much that sums it up. I hope you guys enjoyed this week's video. I definitely did some more analysis, took my time a little bit more, put in some more work, and I feel like this is probably the best analysis, the best weekly forecast I have made yet. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, leave a thumbs up. I will continue to keep this quality of videos consistent. I don't plan on dropping the quality. It's only going up from here. We're going for those next level analysis for the next level trades. So yeah, that's it for today, and hopefully you guys have a good trading week, and I will see you back on the weekly review at the end of the week.